Alright audience, welcome back to Two Pals and Unlimited Craic.
And Unlimited Craic.
Two Pals, Unlimited Craic. We've been gone missing for a while because we decided, hey...
Been lazy.
We've been lazy and we've decided that these are quite a lot of undertaking, so we're gonna maybe dial them back to what? Once a month? Yeah. Maybe once a month. So our previous projection of having a live episode at around episode 16... it'll probably be the next one. So, yeah. That's sort of the biggest decision we made between then, last time and now. So this one, we had made many promises to many people about having them on as guests, but then I got wrote off and then was kind of out of action, but the entire day we said we would record with them. So sorry if you guys were waiting on a call.
It's alright because they were also hungover afterwards, so they were in no state to record the podcast.
But as a way of making reparations, I guess we'll make them our first topic before we move on.
Yeah.
So
the Kids' Hearts, they're fucking class. Go listen to them on Spotify.
Go listen to Spotify. But yeah, so they had their first. Was it their first gig ever, or their first gig since?
I think their first gig since COVID, but I think it's their first gig with like the new lineup, which included Harley and
Emile and the guy on drums who we don't know because
but you're a class drummer, so.
because we didn't get you on the podcast and ask you what your name was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had their first gig in the Atlantic in Portrush, which is a great spot.
Yeah.
And I very rarely seem to remember what happens whenever I go there.
That's a sign of a good night.
A sign of a good night.
No, they were definitely good. They're all very good at playing their instruments, and the singers great too.
Those are stuff.
Yeah, the other bands were class too. There was a band.
Yes.
After that, I can't remember what they were called. But
if you can't remember, I definitely don't then.
But their drummer, before they started, tops off. So that's how I knew he was going to be really into it, and that motherfucker banged the fuck out of those.
Doesn't he have a link to our other favourite topic? Native seafood.
Oh yes. Uh-huh.
Well, or maybe that was one of the other bands.
Wow. I have no idea. It was the guy with the beard who
the guy with
apparently
the beard
knows. Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so all the bands were really good that night. Our friends, the Caged Hearts, we're sorry we didn't get you on the podcast straight away afterwards. Yeah. But your time is coming. Big live debut next time. Talking of them, they now have a headlining gig at Voodoo in Belfast.
That's November 17th.
November 17th, I think. So they'll either have just played that or they'll be just about to by the time the live podcast rolls around.
Fucking tasty.
So we'll probably have an inside scoop around then soon. Around then if they come on it.
Yeah. Voodoo, is it a bit bigger than the Anchor, or is it kind of?
I've never been.
Oh right, fair enough. It's the one that's kind of near Victoria Square, isn't it? Like that red one that we walk by quite a lot.
Probably.
Yeah, the one that's like opposite the meal Primark. Meal.
The meal. Any males?
Any females?
Not females. Yeah, but no. So that's our first topic. Sorry to those guys for saying we get you on this episode of the podcast and then immediately not following up.
It's how life works, isn't it?
Life works.
You make plans, you go out, you get hungover, and then you don't do any of the things you say you were going to do. Yeah, you do them like 2 months later.
Do them 2 months later. How you been this week? And since the last 4 weeks since the last.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. As I've been saying in the other podcasts, I went to I was going to go to the Arnold Expo over in Birmingham.
Yes. I'm going to I have.
Yeah, that came to pass, and it was very good. It was class seeing everybody in very good shape, very inspiring. Makes me want to better myself and get in better shape than I'm in. And seeing all the competitors and the amount of discipline and preparation and stuff, it's pretty fucking inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
And then seeing all the big dogs like Eddie Hall and fucking Flex Wheeler and Dorian Yates and all in person, it's pretty crazy. Sadly Arnold couldn't make it. He he had done something to his leg, and doctors ordered him not to
That's
fly
been
over
your
in
luck
case
for the past.
I know.
Ages.
Here's a wee tangent for you all. I was meant to go see Elton John. That's actually next weekend in London. And he fucking fell on his hip, so that's cancelled. But we decided we're still going to go to London anyway for a good old piss up over Halloween. And then Liam Gallagher was meant to see him in Belfast, and he fell out of a fucking helicopter and he cancelled. And then the Arnold Expo, Arnold cancelled, but the event still went ahead. And I dare say it was just as good as I thought it was going to be. So I was pretty happy.
I mean, I suppose it doesn't really have a big impact because he did all the stuff virtually.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as if you were going to, like, if he was there, you'd have been, like, having dinner with him or something.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
fuck. The furthest I would have got to him was, like, about 20 metres away, like, getting tased by his fucking security as he just walked by. I mean, Eddie Hall had, like, he had about, like, 15 security guards with him, and then he had his, like, huge fucking dog, so if you tried to get near him, your leg was coming off, like...
Come one way or the other.
You weren't getting near him unless you wanted to near him.
Your legs were coming off or your balls were getting evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was very good. And then since that, what have I been doing? Not much really, just same old.
Wedge grind.
And training at the gym.
Training at the gym, yeah.
Chilling out, watching Squid Game.
Watching Squid Game.
Yeah. What a show.
What a show.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thought that guy would have won that thing, huh? Oh, what a show.
Why did he dye his hair that colour? But what about yourself? What have you been up to?
Just sitting over here being disgusting. Yeah.
Well, other than that.
Well, since you came back from Big Arnold, we've kind of been hitting the gym together. Which has been kind of good. I'm still not in many shape. The shape I'm in is still round.
I mean, I've been training for over a year and I'm still like nowhere near where I want to be. So.
We need functional strength. We don't need showing off strength. I can stand up and that's all I need.
Well, I want showing off strength as well. But I haven't got it yet. But,
well, that's fair enough.
No, it's been great to have like usually I train with my granddad and I enjoy training with him. But it's nice to have another training partner as well. It's pretty fucking cool.
You've left your granddad for a younger man.
So he's told me. Yeah.
So but basically, last episode I was just starting a new job, and this episode to the day I've been in a month. Great success.
Great. How are you finding it? It's
just a lot of training. It's a really big company. Shout out to James and Keelan if you're listening, because we had to introduce ourselves, and I mentioned the podcast, and then was promptly asked for a link. So, if I hear from you that you've heard this shout out, I'll know you're not just full of crap. Saying you're going to listen. Yeah. That's another thing. The feedback that the episodes were too long for how quick they were coming out. Mm-hmm. I don't really think that's valid feedback. Sorry if that's your feedback, but I refuse to accept it.
It's your fault that your attention span's too small. It's not ours.
That's it. If you want short stuff, go watch some YouTube videos.
Sad as it is.
That's it. I mean, like, we could go through all the effort of breaking everything up into topics and put up like 2-minute videos or something.
That it feels too structured then. Like it's, I'd rather it feels like a kind of natural conversation.
Yeah, because that's feedback I've got. Like most people that do like the long form just listen and say, yeah, I like listening because it's like you're in the room with us. Mm-hmm. Which is why we went for this new setup. You can Photoshop yourself onto the couch.
Yeah, I actually prefer this because I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of, I don't know if nerve-wracking is the right word, but it's kind of like it feels unnatural whenever you're kind of like this across a desk at each other. It feels like you're doing like an interview or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas this is a bit more kind of chill.
Yeah. No, we're definitely vibing, like, you know.
And we can get each other on the one camera rather than...
we don't have to have like a whole lot of cameras set up or like different angles, and you know, you get a bit of a better sense for the space we're in, I guess, which is good.
So, Squid Game.
We're going to talk about
I suppose we can't really spoil it actually.
Well, spoilers. I'll put in a little voice annotation telling you how far I had to skip if you don't want to hear about this.
True, actually, we could just do that.
Because we're not living out our content because you're behind the times.
I know, fucking get with it, Travis. I don't know who Travis
We do like you all, but you're slow if you're not watching Squid Games. You're slipping.
I agree. What a show. What do you think the kind of like overall consensus of the show was meant to be about? Do you think it's meant to be like money can't buy you happiness?
Well, I've been reading around theories and stuff. I think people are saying that it's kind of like the dangers of capitalism. Like, he went through all that stuff to get all that money, and then he goes back to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Because he needs to keep spending and all that stuff.
I don't think that's I don't think that's why he's going back though. Like
Well, it was. I don't think that's exactly what was said.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be a metaphor for capitalism, because these people know that, or even like gambling and stuff. Like they know they can't win the game because your man keeps flipping theirs over and slapping the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But they just can't resist one more, and then they get the money and they're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, they get a taste of it and then
they go and play a death game, and they're like, okay, we don't want to do this anymore, and then every single one of them except like 4% go back.
Yeah, they kind of come to the consensus that like dying in the game is like nearly better than like living their existence in debt.
Yeah. So life's about money.
Yeah.
Money bad.
Mm-hmm. But then the consensus you get from the actual rich people is that they have so much money that they're bored.
Yeah.
That they try to like find ways to give it away.
So like money kind of does buy them happiness because they have to pay a lot of money to watch the games, and then they get happy by watching the games. I mean, the storyline with the peeler didn't really go anywhere. It was such a long. It was like what, 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
But it's more.
It's his brother. Oh.
I know it's the fact that they like play it off that his like brother's only been missing for like a week, but this guy's like some fucking ninja mastermind who's been behind it for like a few years.
5 years, yeah.
But then maybe he just fucks off like every time the games are happening. Like maybe he lives a normal life, like.
Yeah, maybe.
But
these games are just taking a while because Guillaume fucked it up.
Also, the fact that his brother looks like he's about 20 years older than him. But then again, I can't say anything because whenever my youngest siblings grown up, I'll be like in my 40s. So whenever they're like the age I am now, so yeah. It's a mad world, guys.
That's how life is, I guess. Money bad.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I don't think the police officer's dead.
Yeah, no, it's very much the Hollywood no body, no death theory.
Mm-hmm. It's also the fact that it looked like he very clearly got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, like you see even with number 1, it's the same thing. Because you see everybody else die. But
except for him.
You don't see the body.
Yeah, except for the Indian guy. But you were saying that you think they did that on purpose.
But I think they did that on purpose so that nobody was like, why is number 1 the only one we didn't see? And then, so if you saw the button, then they could have both been behind it. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
The thing that disturbed me the most is why the fuck did he decide to dye his hair red?
I don't know. I think maybe that was supposed to be a popular kind of person. And
doesn't suit him.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a popular person in Korean culture or something, or maybe it's just a popular style. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose they do like dyeing their hair and stuff like that.
I don't want to claim to know things I do not. But yeah, no. So, I was gonna say something. The theory that the old man chose Gihan to win.
Mm-hmm.
Because gave him his jacket, and he said, "Oh, they might look down on you for not having it," but they actually meant that the front man and the soldiers might look down on him and not know not to kill him if he didn't have it.
I don't think that could be the case though, because like the panes of glass and stuff that they were jumping across, he could have easily chose any of the wrong ones, or he could have. He could have easily chose to go in a different position, or he could have chose to go on first.
Yeah, there's that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the glass guy, like he and like the guy that said at the end, he could tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he was working with glass that long, I'm 100% sure he could have told the difference just to look at them.
Yeah.
There's no way he had to have the light be like that there. Nah. Out of here. That man knows.
That was your guy with like the snake tattoo. His death was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
the girl just like comes up, jumps onto the same one as him, like wraps her arms around him, and then like suicides them.
Yeah. Like what if the one that she fell into didn't break and she just hit her head and she just like a bridge.
Yeah. Or it didn't break and they just fell off anyway.
Or like what if he landed on her and they just got up and walked away? Yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Like whenever they were falling, like what if she like fell first and then she like, kind of cushioned his blow?
Yeah. He was just like gets up.
The fucking goon boys just come out with like a steamroller and like crush him or something.
Yeah.
Trying to run.
Well, no, yeah, sure. Because in one of the scenes, like one of the dudes was still alive and he tried to get out of the coffin and he just nailed it shut.
Oh yeah. What was that? What were they doing? Were they trying to like sell people's organs? What was that all about?
Yeah, that was kind of a subplot that didn't really go anywhere.
They just all died.
Yeah, I think they were just selling organs into the black market. Then never to be seen again. Although we're talking about Squid Game, something you can't ignore is the dub.
Oh fucking hell! Yeah, I did watch it.
Very bad.
But a lot of. Yeah, it was very much like anime style dubs, whereas like very over the top.
Although a lot of animes actually do it really well.
Yeah.
But I think I had heard the two guys in the TV show Scrubs, they also do a podcast where they like rewatch every episode and then like give commentary from what it was like filming it and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was like one episode they were like, oh yeah, we were all really upset this episode because 9/11 had happened like 2 days before that.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were supposed to shoot on 9/11. And then it happened, so we took the day off. But they were saying that, like, because the show was huge, it so went worldwide. But basically, in a language, once you get dubbed, the guy that dubs you the first time you get dubbed, dubs you in everything you're in, like it's moved afterwards. But sometimes they don't have the same range, and they're really bad actors.
Yeah.
So the one guy in Germany that voices you when you do your first show that gets ported to Germany, voices you in everything that gets dubbed in German from then on. So yeah, and they're like, that's not my voice.
Yeah, the strangest thing is because it doesn't sync up with the people's mouths.
Yeah, I think they tried to get it to sync up by changing some of the dialogue, but still haven't been the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of missed the mark. Like the only reason I really listened to it with a dub was because I wanted to listen to it whilst I was working.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have the subtitles on. And
see, now you're just like
selling myself out.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh fuck, he was meant to be working.
He was meant to work, but he was listening to Squid Game. I mean, I could have been listening to music, but I was listening to Squid Game.
Oh yeah, there you are.
But yeah.
The only reason I listened to it dubbed was partly because it was fucking hilarious listening to it dubbed, and because I was too lazy to change.
I came to watch, not to read.
I'd love to watch it with like subtitles though, like in Korean, to see what it's.
Well,
like,
see, whenever I
does it change the atmosphere?
Yeah. When I first turned off the dub and turned on the subtitles, it was still in English, and I was like, "Oh, Netflix is fucked again." But it turns out that the front man actually spoke in English the very second I turned it off, like even without the dub. Like someone do speak in English. I was like, "Oh, I've broken Netflix." Uh-oh. But no, I didn't. I just chose to change it at a really weird time when they were speaking in English anyway, and it wasn't dubbed.
What are the chances?
Oh.
But yeah, fuck. I don't know what else to say about it. It was interesting as well how he was so desperate at the start to like get the money, but then once he had it and he like saw all the fucked up shit that had to happen for him to get it, he didn't spend any of it.
Yeah.
He lived like he was homeless.
And then he has to borrow like 10 grand from somebody.
Yeah, I know. That at that stage, I thought he had like spent all the money or something,
yeah.
But it turns out he just like hadn't looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually really angry when he was trying to end the games.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's his name?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Wang Su. So, I don't know.
I think.
I really enjoyed the show and paid attention.
Yeah, I probably know who you're talking about if you like say what he like, the guy who wanted to continue with the games, like the guy with the glasses.
The guy who killed himself.
Yeah, the guy who went to business school. Yeah.
Oh, I saw a meme. It was like, absolutely nobody. This guy went to business school. He's the smartest man in Korea.
He's just like fucking threw it in there all the time.
And I just kept looking at him like, shut up, shut up, and beat your ass.
I know.
But no, it really annoyed me when he didn't just finish the game or when he didn't kill him himself. I was like, why would you try and stop the games now? Like,
I know you came back. Like,
yeah, and then like he promised the wee doll that he would go and adopt her brother and all this, and he just left him in the orphanage for a year.
Yeah.
But he sat and felt sorry for himself.
I know it's the fact that he knew what were happening in the games and he decided to go back, but then the second time he's like, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this. It's like, but you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, you decided to go back.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know, man.
Good show all the same.
It's a good show all the same. It's just
I'm excited to see what they do with season 2.
Yeah, the way it ended, like they have to have been doing that to leave it open, because there's absolutely no way any man would have won all that money after not being able to provide for his Wayne and then leave his Wayne sitting whilst they went back again.
I know, like what's he trying to prove? Is he trying to shut the games down? Or?
I mean, maybe he thinks because they said to him on the phone, oh, number 456, just get on the fucking plane. It's good for you. So maybe he was like, oh, I don't want this plane to get blown out of the sky.
Yeah, maybe he was like, what the fuck, where are they? Like,
yeah, how do they know?
Yeah.
So maybe he just wanted to shut them down so he could live his life in peace. But the fact he didn't even, from what we know, he didn't even phone his daughter and say, yeah, so it turns out I've been taking part in these death games and I got an awful lot of money, but I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
To be some sort of fucking vigilante or something.
Yeah, but he doesn't. The only way he knows how to get to the games is when they pick him up and gas him out. So he's not going to have any more advantage because they'll know he's come back with a vendetta and they'll just keep eyes on him.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
Like whenever I say they have to have written it that way to keep it open, and then I say things like that and talk myself out of it because there's no way he can leave it open because the police didn't believe him the first time.
Yeah. I'm guessing that the police officer's going to come back in season 2 and he's going to have like the photos and then there's going to be like a big manhunt on for like like trying to find. Well, he knows where it's at because he was like conscious, like going there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So yeah.
Well, what a show, really.
I know. Yeah, I think we've kind of talked it to death.
We've only really scratched the surface, but there's things. They were trying to make the place seem really big so that whenever there was a lot of them it seemed really small, but when there was one of them, the endless stare and all that sort of stuff. But it's just kind of crazy how quickly it's taken off. I
know, I was actually I was reading something that the guy who made it in 2009 and it got to some point where he was so broke he had to sell his laptop or something, and it's only this year that it's taken off and it's number 1 in how many countries so
all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Except North Korea.
Except North Korea. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a movie to start with, but then they kind of did it with a TV show because you could put more in it.
I feel like it's better as a TV show.
Yeah, no, it definitely takes a lot of boxes for sure. But yeah, no, that's really.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on the matter. It was a good show because there's not an awful lot on. I rarely watch TV shows or even Netflix.
I know I'm fucking weird. I'll whenever I go to bed at night, I'll turn on my PlayStation intending to watch something, and then I'll just
turn it off and go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll just leave my PlayStation on the start screen, and then go on my phone and look at something, and then just turn my PlayStation off 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's one guaranteed way to get me to watch something, and it's that I've watched it already.
I know, because then you know it's going to be good. You don't want to disappoint yourself.
I like this the first
yourself
time.
with something else that's shit. I am looking forward to season 2 of The Witcher though. The first season was great.
Right?
Have you seen it?
No. I haven't.
You should watch it. I think you'd like it.
I tried to watch it because I never played the games.
Oh, I didn't like the games. Yeah.
So, yeah. And then CD Projekt did Cyberpunk and managed to fuck it up. Well, I liked it. But they've still got a lot of improving to do. But let's talk about more in the vein of not wanting to be disappointed by something. We recently watched Venom and The Last Duel within a day of each other.
Yep.
What did you think of Venom?
I thought this Venom was much better than the first one.
Yeah. I did as well.
But that's just because I like Tom Hardy, but I really like Woody Harrelson as well.
I really like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. It did feel very rushed. Like we came out like whenever it ended, we were like it felt like it was only on for like half an hour.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a really long film, but it was only like we were on quarter 20 to 10.
It couldn't have been any more than like an hour and a half, like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, we were 20 to 10 and came out at like 12.
Yeah.
So an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. But no, it was definitely better than the first one. I thought the first one was a wee bit cringy. I definitely enjoyed that one a bit more.
Yeah.
But The Last Duel, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Like it was a bit.
I mean, I think that could have been shorter.
Yeah. No, definitely. It was a bit of like a. You would describe it as like a medieval whodunit. Yeah.
That is it's apparently a really popular. It's either a book or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's because still to this day, from the original source, it's not clear did it actually happen or not.
Yeah.
But once again, it's 2021. You can't make a movie where she might possibly not be telling the truth.
Yeah, that is true. But the guy who was trying to convince everyone that he didn't do it didn't make a very convincing case.
Yeah, she made the customary protests.
Yeah.
Because Adam Driver has been typecast as a piece of shit these days. Cause
I know, what the fuck?
There was Kylo Ren, and then, I think it was Scarlett Johansson or somebody else he was in a movie with.
Oh, that's right, where they get divorced.
Yeah, and there's these huge big arguments, and he's just the biggest asshole ever. And now this. Those are the only three things I've ever heard of him in.
Yeah. I just fucking loved seeing Ben Affleck with bleached blonde hair, a chin strip, and then Matt Damon with a fucking mullet.
I think Ben Affleck's just the comic relief, to be fair.
I know. Well, he was just the fucking drunken playboy.
Yeah. Now come in here, take your pants off.
That was brilliant. They made him not look like a 40-something-year-old man in that movie. He looked pretty young. He's got that J-Lo glow, as everybody said. They actually said that to him at the. It was like the red carpet event for The Last Duel. It's like, oh, everybody's saying you look great. You've got that J-Lo glow, and he's like, no, I think you're bullshitting me.
I think you're bullshitting me, man.
Yeah, and then they asked Matt Damon. It's like, oh, what do you think about Ben being back with J-Lo? He's like, J-Lo's so annoying. She won't stop following me around and stuff. And he's like, no, I'm only joking. But, no, I thought the movie was great. I wasn't expecting much going into it. It was just okay, it's got Ben Affleck, it's got Matt Damon, it's got Adam Driver, it's medieval, it's my sort of thing.
I was kind of hoping for something a bit more like chivalry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was kind of expecting, there was some action in it, but I was expecting, a bit more.
From the director of Spartacus, you would expect more. Are you not entertained?
Oh, Gladiator?
Yeah. Or Gladiator? What? Oh.
You said Spartacus?
Who did the Spartacus was a TV show, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was great too. Me and another friend of mine used to watch it obsessively during second year of university when we should have been doing work.
What a show.
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah.
Did one of the main characters not have cancer or something?
Yeah, the guy who first played Spartacus, he died of cancer, and then another guy took over as Spartacus.
Alright. Well, the last I had heard, he had just got cancer, so
no, he's dead. R.I.P. buddy.
I know what I've brought up now.
Yeah. Oh.
I love living life in blissful ignorance.
It's the cycle of life.
It's the circle of life.
But No, yeah, definitely. It could have been like more of a chivalry thing, but then again, like before I went to see the movie, I didn't really. I thought it was just like these guys fall out over a woman and there's like a war over it or something, but I didn't realize it was going to be of like a more whodunit, like rape sort of story. But
that's demonetized on YouTube.
I don't know. We didn't make the movie.
Yeah, but we said the rape word. Ah, damn. Anyway.
Well, you're not allowed to say words now.
You're not allowed to say words on YouTube anymore.
I don't get it.
We're coming for you.
What? Okay.
One word at a time.
That's pretty bizarre. But okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Please sponsor us, somebody. So we don't have to impress the ad gods. But yeah, so
we can also just cut out the usage of that word.
Yeah, we could, but I can't be arsed.
Yeah.
It's like in South
That's so
Park.
bizarre. I didn't know that was a thing. You're not allowed to say it. Like,
yeah, you have to be advertiser friendly. If you swear too much, if you cover topics that aren't swearing but are not advertiser friendly, then YouTube will refuse to let you get any ad money.
I am literally just everything YouTube doesn't want.
Well,
but I love it that way.
Little package.
I love it that way.
Yeah. Well, that's just how things are sometimes.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the movie anyway?
Yeah, well, I mean, from the trailer was kind of a bit of a bait and switch because they did hype up as a bit of a battle movie, but there was like 4 or 5 scenes. I mean, I like how everything was slightly different from everybody's perspective.
Yeah.
Like from Matt Damon's, Matt Damon, he was like,
it was so like honourable.
Yeah.
And,
you must stay here until I return. I don't want you to be left alone. Meanwhile, he was like, "You're a fucking woman. Run the place. Get out of my hair. Stop complaining, you daft bitch."
Yeah.
And he left.
Yeah. Then Adam Driver's like perspective was all like womanizing and partying and they love me.
Doing his taxes. They love me. Oh yeah, that's another thing about Venom. So they've brought him into the MCU now.
Yeah.
With I think that's kind of good.
I think it could be pretty exciting. The only thing is though, like Venom feels so dark in tone compared to like
everything. Well, it's kind of like Deadpool as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't see Deadpool working like alongside the event. Like the tone of Deadpool is just so different from those sort of movies. Like they're going to have to tone it down so much, which I hate.
We have the Eternals coming out as well.
Looks pretty cool.
Which looks kind of good.
And Batman next March. That looks fucking class. I cannot wait.
What else was it? I said to you that last time as well. Black Adam.
Black Adam as well. Yeah. There was like a teaser trailer thing for it.
Yeah.
It'll just be The Rock playing The Rock.
It'll be The Rock playing The Rock again.
And I'll still watch it and love
it. Have you watched Shazam?
I haven't actually. It's on Netflix at the minute, so I
really want to watch it.
Yeah.
I keep trying to watch it and then I never do.
I don't know. It looks a bit too like sort of
DC.
PC is what I was gonna say. But I need to watch the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. A lot of people have been telling me to watch it. Apart
it's trash.
A lot of people have told me it's so much better, but it's like 4 hours long.
4 hours long. It's 4:3 as well.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Like
my TV has all this space. Please use it, Zach.
Yeah.
But I guess
so
it's his vision.
So whenever I have like fuck all to do for an entire day, I guess I'll
stick it on.
I'll stick that on. Yeah. Which probably won't be anytime soon.
Oh no, there's always something to be at, sir. There's always something to be at.
Your boy. Hustle and grind.
Hustle and grind. Yeah.
What were we talking? Oh, and James Bond as well. What did you think of it?
Oh, James Bond. I mean, it was the first. Well, it's not the first. Is it the first? Maybe it is.
Is it the what?
I don't think I've ever seen any James Bond Daniel Craig movie before.
Oh, it's not the first one. It's like.
Oh, well, it's not the first one I've ever seen. It's the first one I've seen.
Oh, of his, yeah.
Of his.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen bits and pieces of them because they're always on TV and stuff, and you can scroll through and you see bits.
Yeah, I thought it was like.
Because I think we were going to see. Well, you had asked me, did I want to go and see Casino Royale or was it Skyfall?
Probably Skyfall.
But then your dad took you beforehand, so then we didn't go.
Maybe it was Spectre actually.
That was the only Bond movie I had the chance to see before that, and I never saw it. So
yeah, that's fair. As far as it goes, I thought it was the weakest out of all of his.
Yeah, like the whole point is that James Bond doesn't die. Like he gets into these situations and then gets out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
by
if
the
any
skin of
other
his
James Bonds did
anus.
that. But yeah, it wasn't even that there. It was just like it felt so kind of like rushed, and it was just like so generic. Like guys, kind of this guy is trying to like bring out a plague into the world, or like how many times have you seen that shit? And then
well, that's the classic Bond formula, though, isn't it? Something with a mega weapon that just sort of.
I suppose. What are you expecting? And
that's it. Good action.
Good action, over the top. Guy with a handgun takes out about 70 Russians with fucking bulletproof vests and AK-47s and comes out unscathed.
And then has a win.
Then has a win.
Yeah.
Who I thought was Rami Malek's for a while.
And
then wasn't. And
Freddy.
Yeah. I think like the girl who is 007, like I thought like I don't know, like I thought her.
Yeah.
I thought she was just a bit boring.
There wasn't much development to her.
See the girl who was helping him, when they were at like the party in Cuba.
Yeah.
She would have been a great 007. She was actually, I don't know, she was like more exciting to actually watch.
Yeah, I think the whole point of well, is she now confirmed as the next 007?
I think like I get that's the general consensus of kind of going.
Yeah. I think the how do I say this without sounding like a piece of shit? The female 007, I think she was so boring on purpose so that we would root for him to get it back before getting killed.
Yeah.
Well, oops! Spoiler!
That's fair enough.
But yeah, no, I don't know. They could have done it in a much better way. Like, they could have made her a bit more likable, but
yeah,
like.
I mean, I did like the scene where the fucking she had like the scientist boy out over the ledge and he like said something. Did he say something racist to her or something? Was it?
I think it was like I could eradicate your entire race or something.
Yeah, and then you're expecting her to just kind of like smack him with a gun or something, but no, she just froze him into the acid and lets him die. It's like I like that energy. That was great.
I thought all that water was supposed to be acid.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever Rami Malek pushes him into the big fountain in the middle, I was expecting like one of them to melt.
Is it bad that I didn't get what the vial was all about until you explained it to me?
So like, did he just cut him or something? Yep, he let himself die because he got a cut.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like if you decided that some doll that you abandoned nearly 20 years ago, or well, how long ago? What, 10, 5, 6, nearly 7 years ago? If you decided all of a sudden that she was the love of your life, yeah, alright, maybe kill yourself over it. If you can't touch them again.
Yeah, I suppose.
Or any of the relatives.
Was that how long they had been away from each other? Whenever he got on that train?
Well, the Wayne was only like, what age was the Wayne? Like 5?
I've no idea. I assume the Wayne was still alive though. Like whenever they were like.
I don't think the Wayne was born.
Really?
Yeah, because she tried to tell him that it wasn't his.
Oh, there you are. Fuck! I didn't even realize there was a time jump whenever he left her. I thought like it was just like a few weeks later they'd like synced up again.
Yeah, that's kind of like in you caught it in the Last Duel as well. They're like in the castle. They have both just come back from battle, and then in the next scene, he's arriving at his house, and it's been like years.
Remember he got married to the doll, and then he says, she would have loved that, and you're like, is she fucking dead already? Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that's kind of one bad thing about the Witcher show on Netflix is that there's a lot of confusing time jumps.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was I can't fucking wait for season 2. It's pretty good, not good. But yeah, I think we talked a lot about movies, but
talk a lot about movies.
I can't even think of like anything else.
There's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave Grohl says his whole life is like an out of body experience.
That makes sense. Drummer of Nirvana.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the most, if not the most, well, probably not the most, one of the most famous bands of all time. Yeah.
Well, I mean. Because I wanted to link back to something I saw on Reddit. Dave Grohl and I don't know if it was the rest of the Foo Fighters or if it was just some of his other friends he was hanging out with that day, but the Westboro Baptist Church were protesting something, and he got in the back of a pickup truck and had a full escort, just drove around them, playing music.
What were they playing?
I don't know. I don't think it was one of their songs. I think he just made it up.
Oh,
like just saying how they were full of crap and all that sort of stuff.
Fair.
But so yeah, Dave Grohl was asked. Well, it was suggested to Dave Grohl that he, after he published his memoir, that he do like a few book tours and just talk about it.
Yeah.
So what Dave Grohl instead decided to do was write a full-on hour-long interpretive play, going from him being a kid in his bedroom discovering music,
yeah,
to where he is now. So he basically just puts on these performances in these bookstores of his journey through music.
What?
And I just thought, like, what a quintessential Dave Grohl thing.
I know. I've got an interesting story about Dave Grohl actually. I heard it from the man himself whenever they played Belfast 2 years ago. He nearly moved to Lisburn when he was younger.
What did he do that for?
Because his mum was I think his mum was like an English teacher, and she was gonna like do this thing where you kind of like swap places with like a teacher from like somewhere else in the world and like move over there for like a while or something. And the teacher, his mum was going to swap with, just so happened to live in Lisburn. So Dave was going to move to Lisburn with his mum, but then it never happened. Could you imagine that? Not only would there be, there'd still be Nirvana because he joined Nirvana later, but they probably wouldn't have been as good. But there'd be no Foo Fighters, and not only that, he would have lived in Lisburn. That's so sad.
Dave Grohl snuffed out by Lisburn.
That's so fucking bizarre, isn't it?
How bizarre!
Of all the places, Lisburn. Yeah.
Yeah, Lisburn. What a place.
But yeah, Foo Fighters are fucking great live. Speaking of which, one of my idols, a man I've been accused of never shutting the fuck up about every time I get into conversations about the greatest guitarist of all time, John Frusciante. He joined the Red Hot Chili Peppers again at the end of 2019, and I was so hyped, and then they were going to start playing shows and shit, but then COVID hit. But now they've announced a world tour for 2022, so they're coming to Dublin. Is it the 29th of June next year? So I'll finally get to fucking see the Red Hot Chili Peppers with John Frusciante. So I might cry.
You might cry a little bit.
I've seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers before, but that's when he wasn't in the band, and they were great then. So they should be fucking amazing now.
Oh, for sure they will be. Looking back, because we're talking music now. But you were saying like Elton John injured himself. Arnold injured himself.
Liam Gallagher fell out of a helicopter. Yeah.
So it was last week or the week before. Wolfgang Van Halen. He's been touring with
Guns N' Roses.
And his band, his touring band, he is Frank Sidoris from Slash and the Conspirators. So Papa Franco, either he was driving or someone was driving him, or he was going somewhere with him and his wife. But someone lost control of their car in front of him, and his car hit it and went flying over the fucking middle of the highway. So his wife broke one of her vertebrae.
Fuck.
And her thumb, or left index finger.
Ouch.
I can't quite remember if anything happened to Papa Franco, but I think they're just taking some time off. And then today I saw that Wolfgang himself was getting off the tour bus, missed a step and fucking bit the dust. Well, didn't bite the dust, but like...
Yeah, I was about to say fuck.
Missed a step and bit the ground.
Did he break anything?
Yeah, he's in like a boot.
Fuck, right.
Like up to here. But he's still going to go on stage and rock out with his socks out. So
we are. Well, probably not, considering he's gonna
with a sock out.
I know, what is it with fucking famous people and injuring themselves?
They're just like it.
Do you think it just gets to like a point where they're like,
they need to feel something?
I can't be asked like fucking doing a show like tomorrow. I need a good excuse. It's like have you tried falling out of a helicopter and busting your nose? It's like, fucking really don't want to play Belfast this weekend. I can't be Belfast.
Fucked. There are a bunch of spoons there. Because something similar happened with Eric Friedman of Tremonti's band as well. He like fell down the stairs in the tour bus and nearly broke his back.
Fuck.
So he played a few shows sitting on a couch.
Sure, Axel did that as well. He broke his leg, and then he was actually covering for Brian Johnson from AC/DC whenever he had like hearing loss, and like Axel was just like fucking sitting in this like big ass throne like doing AC/DC songs, and then Dave Grohl as well. He fell off the stage and broke his leg, and sure he was like fucking sitting on a throne for.
Well, I heard Iggy Pop tried to do a stage dive with a 3 meter fucking clearance between him and the crowd.
Oh Jesus!
He just planted in the concrete.
Fuck. Iggy Pop's fucking nuts.
Crazy. Like, did he not try and get someone to stab him by hurling racist abuse? Like, he brought him on stage, gave him a knife and started fucking shouting all the racist things he could think of at him.
That sounds like something he would do.
When the guy didn't stab him, he took the knife and stabbed himself.
There's a guy that's even worse than him who is dead now, and it's maybe not the worst thing. It's a guy called Gigi Allen, if you've ever heard of him.
Not the worst thing for Gigi.
Yeah, but he was a bit of a piece of shit too.
Oh,
but he was like he was very controversial. If I could speak, very controversial. He used to like cover himself in shit and like fling shit at people and do the bad word that we're not allowed to say to people. And he was a bit of a piece of shit. He was quite extreme. So he's probably like a couple of levels. He's probably a couple of levels above Iggy Pop. But I love Jim Morrison and the Doors as well, and how Iggy Pop actually started the Stooges is pretty funny. So Iggy Pop was actually at a Doors concert, and Jim Morrison came out and he was like fucking hammered because the man was a notoriously bad alcoholic, and he like started singing the songs like really bad and like high pitched voices and all, and the crowd were like getting pissed off with him and like booing him and like hurling shit at him, but he didn't care, and he just like kept like fucking up the songs or whatever. And Iggy Pop was just in the crowd and he goes, wow, if he can sing as shit as that and get away with it, then I could sing too. So that's how he started the Stooges.
He got the Doors, the Stooges.
Yeah.
Iggy and the Doors.
But yeah, the man looks like he's melting, but he's still in like pretty good shape.
He's still going.
I think it was on Graham Norton. I think he says now his hobby is like collecting different types of chairs and stuff. Like
Jack White.
he's really mellowed out. And then further to what we were talking about a couple of episodes ago as well, where Charlie Watts died. We were wondering, will the Stones ever tour again or no? Yeah, they're back at it.
As it turns out, yep.
Yeah, they're back at it. Playing
farewell Charlie tour.
Playing away. Fucking so. There's a chance that I might actually get to see them, which I'm very, very happy about.
The remaining Stones.
Yeah. If they come to Dublin, which hopefully they will do. They're on an American tour at the minute. I think they just did a couple of nights there in LA. And they're sounding pretty fucking good,
I think music as a whole we finished before Keith Richards is.
Yeah, and Mick.
And Mick. Yeah, Mick, yeah.
It's so funny because Mick is just like so... It's like Cockney, the word, and it's like he always has like such a dry sense of humour. Like they were playing a show in LA and he's like, we've got some celebrities here tonight, and then he's like, we've got Leonardo DiCaprio, we've got Lady Gaga, oh yeah, we've got Kirk Douglas is out there too, but Kirk Douglas has been like dead for like a few years, so he's just got this like really dry sense of humour.
Yeah, that's Kirk Douglas.
He just announces that like all these people are at his shows and the crowd's like but none of the people are actually there. He's just taking the piss.
Yeah.
But I think it turns out that like he did it at another show where he was like naming these famous people that weren't actually there, but it turns out like Jack Nicholson and a couple of other people actually were at the show. It's pretty.
He named them.
Yeah. No, he didn't name them. He was just like pretending that these other people were at the show that weren't there, and the crowd was going wild.
Yeah. Woo.
It's such a dry sense of humour. But
everybody started looking for them. Just going to totally shift the topic now.
Let's go for it. Spontaneity.
The Queen. You know the Queen, not Queen.
Yeah, she was meant to come to Northern Ireland.
She was meant to come here today. No, yesterday. I decided, and she was told not to, because she needed to rest up. Personally, I think it's because whoever advises her medically found out she was coming here and said, "Nah, Liz, you don't want to be at that nonsense."
Could be that.
I couldn't be happier for her, to be fair. Getting told to stay out of the place.
You're not missing much, lady.
You're just missing this. You're just missing this podcast, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the next.
We'll get the Queen in the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, she was. There's a magazine that awards like Oldie of the Year or something. Oldie of the Year. And they went. They nominated the Queen, so they sent it to her private secretary and stuff. And basically, the Queen said, "I'm not out. Fuck off." So she didn't accept it. They were basically like, Her Majesty feels that you're only as old as you feel, so she feels she doesn't qualify for the award. I was like,
right, okay.
You're coming up on 70 years in office. You don't think maybe you qualify?
You've been round the corner for a while.
Yeah.
Round the block. Speaking of fucking old, Clint Eastwood's got a new movie coming out, and the man's 91. What an absolute badass.
He's always at it.
What a badass.
He never stops.
I fucking love old spaghetti westerns, and especially Clint Eastwood ones. Me and my brother, whenever we were a bit younger, we would have watched like The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and A Fistful of Dollars, and For a Few Dollars More, like on fucking repeat obsessively. I love those old movies.
They were pretty good filmos.
Yeah, boy. I love my westerns.
To be honest, I never really watched one from start to finish, but I've always seen bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And it's always like that gravelly, "Hey, you think you're good enough to take me on, punk?"
It's that old like 1960s where they're all like staring at each other.
Yeah. Just the fucking bars.
I fucking see sometimes when I'm working, I'll just like stick the Good and the Bad and the Ugly like soundtrack on like, in the background. I'm obsessed with like Native Americans and like that old western stuff.
Native seafood?
Well, I'm obsessed with them too.
By the way, get more hoodies in because we want to buy one, but you don't have enough.
I'm too fat for your
smalls.
Yeah. Get some larges.
I'm eating too much of your food to fit your smalls, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Clint Eastwood. I mean, from the trailer, you can tell he's slowing down a bit.
I'd like to think so.
At 91. He would be at the age he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a good tag on it because he spent so long. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe some people see it as hypocritical, but he spent so long in his career being the macho guy, and the whole message that says, "You don't want to be a macho man, kid."
Yeah. I just thought it was like so. It's I don't know if like Easter eggs the word, but it's like. Seeing him like in a cowboy hat and all, it's like cool as fuck. Like it's almost like a throwback to him, like in the 60s. Like,
yeah.
And
well, there's kind of an Easter egg or like a reference like that in the Last Duel as well, because in the book, it doesn't end the way it does in the movie. Like
right.
Your man that dies in the movie is actually 56 or so in real life when it happens. Mm-hmm. So in the book, like literally he just gets tired first, and she says, "Though this won't be decided by God, it'll be decided by which old man gets tired first," which actually happens in the book. But wouldn't make for a good action piece.
No, in the movie he gets throat fucked with a knife.
The movie just gets him dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and like in the movie as well, because you can see later on, the king, who is quite young, like you can see the startings of his going mad. Like the horse dies and the king's like.
I actually thought the king was pretty fair. Like watching the movie. Like,
he was fair with doing the whole trial and stuff. Like if you want to fight to the death, all right, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But like when any sane person would be like, oof, he was like, yes, get him.
I didn't even notice that. Like maybe that just shows I'm fucking.
Like his wife was sitting there like.
Yeah. Right. Calm down. James.
Okay. But yeah, no, like that was kind of a criticism of it as well. I had read that some people were sort of thinking, like, it's kind of a really tense moment, and there's cutaways to Ben Affleck swatting something off his face. But yeah, no, like the King Charles, what was it, the 6th or the 5th?
I think it was the 6th. Wasn't it?
But like in the Crusades and stuff, that the boy that survives the duel dies in, were started basically because he went fucking crazy. The king just decided that this war had to be started because he said so. He had been wronged in some cosmic way.
Somebody ate my fucking leg back.
That trial was basically the start of his descent to madness.
Right. There you are.
And yeah.
Yeah, this could just be a classic, like one of those classic cases where you see the movie first and you don't know much about the book, and everybody's like, "Oh, the book's better." Like, it's the same with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I bought the book there last week and I haven't started it yet, but I love the movie. It's probably one of my favourite movies.
You bought the book a week before the last episode.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a couple of weeks ago.
Month?
No. I swear to God, I only bought that book like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, the last episode we talked about...
I bought the David Goggins book.
No, the last episode we talked about the book being better than the movie.
Yeah.
And then you got the book a week after that.
Yeah. So I need to read the book to see if that's the case, but I feel like it'll be hard to make that judgment because you'll already like imagine the characters as they are in the movie.
Yeah.
And the book's really fucking short too. Like like it's probably something you could read in like a week.
40 pages.
Yeah. Well,
well, that's it, done. Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah.
Gonzo bookalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like obviously because it is rooted in historical accuracy. Like it actually happened.
Yeah.
He actually did go mad and start the Crusades because he was fucking crazy.
Yeah. Some man for one man.
Some man for one man is our Jimmy. Oh, aye.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, it's my birthday on the 1st of November, so I'll probably just spend all of Halloween wishing it was my birthday.
Fair.
So and I get all my prezzies.
I won't even be in the country for your birthday. We'll
have to postpone the party then.
Cry in foreign lands.
Cry in foreign lands.
So what are your planning to dress as Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc?
Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc.
Any more progress on the costumes?
Nope.
It's alright. My dad was planning to go as Voldemort, and he bought the Voldemort mask off of eBay, and he sent me a message the other day going, "Have you ever returned anything that you've bought from eBay? This mask is fucking shite. It looks like Shrek with food poisoning." He didn't show me a picture, but apparently it just looks absolutely fucking mangled. So I don't know what he's gonna do.
That's kind of the point, though.
Yeah.
Voldemort does kind of look mangled.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do for me
get drunk.
Yeah, me and one of my mates are going over on the Saturday, which is the day before Halloween, and then another one of my mates is coming over on the Monday because he's going to Shine. His missus had booked it. So me and I guess I'm just gonna look for random Halloween parties to go to in London and find out.
Put them on Snap Maps and after.
I was planning to dress up as like John Lennon from like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band or something, but if I dressed like that over here, people would just think I was marching on the 12th. You know what really ruined Venom? Eminem. Please stop. Venom.
I don't really mind Eminem.
I don't mind him, but he's like, I feel like, well, I mean, who the fuck am I to say that? Like, what have I done? But just like,
as you always say,
I feel like he can be a bit cringy.
Yeah, as I always say, criticism never comes from anyone above you in life.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
But we're all entitled to our opinions.
It's like those guys, we've talked about it before, like those fucking like guys who'll just be like sitting on their couch like eating Doritos or something, and the Olympics are on or the football or something, and they're like, "Oh fuck's sake, what'd you do that for? Useless is like, as if they could like as if they could do it." Yeah, it's like,
you're all experts now that it's Olympic season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kiddo.
I know.
Yeah, no, but that's just how it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
You just have to be a good couch spectator.
That's it.
But you know,
That's how it goes, and it's really bad with like MMA and stuff. It's like, oh, you
Yeah.
should have done this. As like a guy who's never fucking thrown a punch.
You should have done that. You should have done that. Oh, you should have been inside the guard there.
Oh, I'm a boxing historian. It's like, yeah, but you've never fucking
I know
boxed.
boxing.
You haven't fucking boxed. So shut up.
Oh, I follow a boxer on Spotify. I listen to the same music he listens to, so I know what I'm talking about. I haven't really been into the news recently.
Neither have I, because it's depressing as fuck.
It's depressing AF. There's only so many weeks I can cover it, and I can wade through it.
Yeah.
Before I want to end it all.
That was so expressive. You're like, before I,
Well. But one thing I can say. Two things. So we talked about the climate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that the company that I get my car insurance through has been offsetting my carbon emissions since I took out my policy with them. And also the UK have now published their plan to tackle climate change. So they're going to offer more incentives to buy electric vehicles. They're going to build more charging stations at the sides of roads and at petrol stations, etc. And obviously, well, maybe it's not quite a good thing. Once the revenue from fossil fuels dries up, they're going to start taxing electric fuels. So, I mean,
you're telling me my investments in Tesla are going to make me a millionaire? Yeah.
Bye.
Class.
I saw Tesla yesterday as well. They're becoming more and more common around here.
Yeah, I know. I think it's because we're looking for them now as well.
Yeah.
It's like, but they're definitely a lot more noticeable down south. Like, you see them a lot more. But the past few times we've been in Belfast, I was like, oh fuck, there's a Tesla.
The one came through the McDonald's drive-through down the road behind me yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you are.
And there's a blue one as well. It's always floating about going to the school at school time.
Fuck, fair enough.
So
driving in style.
Yeah.
Like I like nice cars, but
I don't want a nice car.
I know, it's like I feel like I could just fucking drive my C1 forever until I can buy a Tesla. Then
drive the C1 until either it dies or you do.
Well,
damn. Not quite.
There's something to what you're saying.
There's something on to what you're saying. This has been your installment of Craic.
This has been
from your local
host
crack dealers.
Yeah.
Unlimited crack, anytime.
The place just fucking.
The place. FBI, open up. But yeah, you can sign us off because I do it every week. Give the whole speech.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Don't forget to leave voice messages on Anchor. Follow us on all our social medias down below at the link trees. Thanks.